Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Hear Me Out Pitch, or welcome to Hear Me Out Pitch if this is your first time. I'm Tim.
And I'm Willem.
So, we watched a movie yesterday. Spoiler alert. Right off the bat, spoilers ahead. Big spoilers, lots of spoilers.
For
the Minecraft movie.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's what we saw.
If you haven't seen it, go watch it. Genuinely, we liked it.
I liked it. I've never played Minecraft. I've never sat down. And when I say played, I mean like you sat down for your own time and spent, I would roughly say, would 30 minutes be enough? Because I don't know.
To understand how Minecraft actually works, you gotta give it hours.
Yeah, but I honestly,
it's a sandbox game.
I'm not a big fan of the sandboxes.
That's understandable. Guys, I know. I'm trying to convert him.
It's fine.
This is another game that I'm trying to get him to play.
I mean, I like the concept, I like the ideas, but I get bored. I get bored real easy.
I understand.
So it's just how I am. Like,
you've got to play with people.
I know, and that sounds like fun. That one's something I could try. So here's a very controversial take. I thought The Witcher 3 was boring, and Horizon Zero Dawn. And here's the biggest one of all that might get me in trouble with Tim. But the newest two Legend of Zelda games, just no.
It's okay. We've had this conversation.
We've had it many times.
And I'll admit, Tears of the Kingdom was it was a little disappointing. It was slightly disappointing to me.
It was a big DLC.
It was a big DLC, and we didn't see a lot of new stuff.
Nintendo's kind of lame. What?
So, but we're not here to talk about that.
We're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about a very beloved game, which I will give all the respect to. That did a wonderful job with the fan service, even though some of the fans came and were cheering too loudly for stupid memes. But we're not going to let that affect the discussion today. But
quick PSA for everyone who's going to go watch the movie. If you're one of those dumb teenagers that's gonna go and scream your head off at I Am Steve or Flint and Steel or all the memes, don't.
Please.
It's just gonna make everyone else in the theater upset. Don't do it.
And you're gonna ruin it for some little kid. I know some little kid next to us was pretty upset about it.
Well, and I went to the bathroom afterward, and there were other people in there, and they were all talking about how annoying those teenagers were.
Yeah,
that was the worst part of the movie. Was
honestly,
the audience, the teenagers. Again, if that was you, shame on you.
Shame.
The stupid teenagers in the theater screaming because they saw the meme that had,
Tim's more of an old man than me, so, but I'm just kidding. No, you know how I felt about it. So
by the end of the movie, I was about ready to yell, "Be quiet!"
Yeah, because what was sad was, like, if it was a very awful, boring movie, I honestly would have been like, fine. But it was at like random things, not anything uphyped. Like, there were parts where I was like, okay, that probably could have gotten a better cheer. Like, that would have been. It was
the random memed parts of the movie, and it was annoying.
Love how we said we weren't gonna like go much into it, but we had a little PSA about it.
Yeah, that's the PSA.
This is why movie theaters are in trouble right now. It's because teenagers like you. I'm just kidding. Back in my day, we used to just go to the movies.
Anyway,
what'd you like about it?
Jennifer Coolidge. She stole the show.
You're like a hot dog on the 4th of July. Sorry for hitting with my Jeep Tacoma. No, not Jeep Tacoma. Jeep Cherokee. Oh my gosh. I'll be going.
No, she stole the show. She was freaking hilarious.
Yeah, every time she came on, I was like, okay.
And
it wasn't like long enough that you got sick of it. It was just long enough that you're like, all right, and then it would go away, and then it would happen. I love the random moments of it. It just randomly
it would pop up, and it was at the most random times, and it was just so funny. And it finally, like, it all culminated in that post credit scene. Like, it was just so good. It was so funny.
We are in love. I just love that actor. He was apparently supposed to be the original Steve, and because of conflicts, he wasn't able to do it. But he would have been. I don't know if you know who that is. Like, if you can picture the actor, but you've heard his voice. He was the Beaver in.
Is it Matt Walsh? Is that his name?
Matt Walsh. He was Yes, I think so. He was the Beaver in the Robot.
Not iRobot. In the Wild
Robot. It is an art. Like, I love how I just love the way he talks. If I could mimic his voice, I would. It's amazing. Mm-hmm. Oh.
Yeah. Other things, I really liked how there's a good handful of things I enjoyed, but one of the big ones was they took obscure things from Minecraft's actual gameplay and put it into use in the movie. And like any time they showed us an item or an object, or anything they kind of alluded to using an object or item or theme, they ended up actually doing it. In the trailer, there's the whole Ender Pearl scene, where Garrett, Jason Momoa's character, tosses Ender Pearl behind him and he teleports, and Steve's like, that was my only one. But then we get to see Henry, our main character, actually use an Ender Pearl toward the end of the movie, and it was very well done. There were other things, and I loved how Emma Myers' character was just so confused at like how illogical everything was.
Which one was Emma Myers?
Stephanie, the younger girl.
Oh, the sister.
Yeah. Yeah, her character just being super confused and overprotective, and like not quite understanding, like, this is a video game, it's not supposed to make sense.
Yeah.
It was fun. I really enjoyed it, and I really enjoyed seeing some of my favorite YouTubers in the movie. Like, I'll be honest, I did not expect to see Mumbo Jumbo as a side character at all. I did not expect it. Same with LD Shadow Lady. I did not expect to see her, or Dan TDM. Like, all three of them were in there, and I didn't.
I am so lost.
They're big YouTubers.
Okay,
they're big video gaming YouTubers.
This is where the 6 years comes. I'm just kidding. There's probably a lot of people my age who know who they are, but I'm sad I never got into it. It seems fun. It seems cool. Like, I've watched many a clip that come up and history of it. I learned about Technoblade, and I liked their little nod. That
was big. Like, I never actually like watched Technoblade, but I saw clips of him on YouTube. I saw what he did to the Minecraft community, and how he just made, anytime anyone said the name Technoblade, like, you knew who that was. Whether you knew what he did or why he did what he did, you knew he existed. Like, you've heard the name before.
Yeah.
And when he passed away, like, that was a huge blow to not just the Minecraft community, but gaming as a whole. Because he was an icon, a modern icon of several franchises, and just the idea of Minecraft itself. And so seeing that tribute to him in the movie was big.
So we had a discussion about the Minecraft movie a while back. We gave our own idea. Still like that one.
Yes.
And funny enough, this movie was nothing like what we wanted.
No,
and that's absolutely fine. Would I still like to do that one? Yeah. Still would want to write that up. And if you want to know more about it, go find it. But other than acting and fun nods, what were some of the stronger parts of the actual story that you were like, okay, this was fun? Or this was... What you like story-wise?
So in traditional Minecraft, right, the final boss of the game is the Ender Dragon. You know, there's a big black dragon that flies around in a dimension called the End. And I kind of expected when it was first announced that it was just going to be a very, like, this is a Jumanji-like story where, you know, people are sucked into the game and then they go through completing objectives until they can beat the final boss so they can escape. But it wasn't like that at all. The Ender Dragon wasn't mentioned, I think, at all in the movie. And if she was, I'm sorry, I missed it.
Kids were probably yelling and you missed it.
Kids were probably screaming.
I'm kidding.
But no, there was this whole thing with the whole, you know, cliche of a video game movie.
Yeah.
Right. You see that with Sonic and Dr. Eggman, and you know, like he's the big bad guy in that series. And then you've got Pikachu, and then the, you know, Detective Pikachu, and we had Mewtwo, and that was a huge conflict, and that was very well done. But it was kind of cliche in a sense. But then you get to the Minecraft movie, and it's not the bad guy you were originally expecting. Like, it's the piglins.
They are thinking of making more, I
Right.
believe. So
Right.
we could see the, what'd you call it, Ender Dragon later on.
And I wouldn't be opposed. I know before I was pretty staunchly opposed to being live action. But I didn't hate it.
The anime, honestly, I thought that it was going to look crude, and there were some times where, like, that's definitely like a green screen, but
Right.
I generally had fun. It felt like they were walking around
The VFX of the movie were incredible.
It was simple,
It
and
was.
it was a kids movie,
It was.
and it's not just. It's for anyone who enjoys Minecraft. It was fun. I really thought it was just going to be this mindless slop, but it wasn't. I thought it was fun. It was over the top silly. Jack Black and Jason Momoa got to ham it up as much as they want. But guess who I appreciate when they ham up a lot? Jason Momoa and Jack Black. Except when Jack Black sings. Sometimes when he starts singing at random parts, I'm like, no, please don't. Secondhand embarrassment. But that's just me. But yeah. I Jason Momoa, to me, I think was my favorite character. Just how he acted, and just the silly cliche of I'm the 80s washed out arcade game player, and I just loved it. I think for me, as someone who's never played, I was very interested in the piglins. I liked them. I thought it was cool. I loved Maldoja. I honestly thought she was in my top.
She was super cool.
Very well done. And again, it just looked so good. And just the final, come here, come closer. Are you going to try to stab me? No. Tries to stab him weakly. No, come back. You have another knife, don't you? No, come here. Tries. I loved it. I laughed. For anyone who's seen Napoleon Dynamite and Nacho Libre, same director, Jared Hess, fabulous. All of the Easter eggs from Napoleon Dynamite, the amount of times me and Tim looked at each other and were like, give me some of your tots. So
yeah, there were a lot of times where we kind of expected a joke, and that was one thing I feel like they could have done a little bit better, was, you know, slipping in the fun nods to some of his other movies.
I really would have loved to see, I can't think of the actor right now, but Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah. I think that would have been funny. Maybe as the head of that potato chip company or something.
That's what I thought it was going to be. I thought the potato guy was going to fall and you could see him walk out. Oh, God.
I will say this, and this is going back to some of the actors in specific. But Jennifer Coolidge and the villager, they were on a date at this fancy restaurant, and their server was Jeb. And for those of you who don't know Willem, Jeb is one of the guys in charge of the game itself. Like he's one of the guys in charge at Mojang.
Oh.
And so seeing him in there as just a waiter, it was super super quick. It was funny. He didn't have any lines, but like you recognize, I recognized him, and I saw who it was, and I got a smile. I thought it was hilarious that he was there. It was great. And I will admit, like I don't think it's necessary, but I do wish we had seen a few more icons from the community itself, or nods to them. There's a big handful of people in the Minecraft community that a lot of the YouTubers that I would have loved to have seen, even as just another background character, outside of the auction lot.
What's his name? Is he Danish? PewDiePie? Was he a big Minecrafter?
Yeah,
PewDiePie. I honestly was expecting
PewDiePie is one that I would have loved to see him briefly. It would have been hilarious to see him as one of the background characters,
or even just like as a
or even just a voice.
Yeah, him. Like I really was expecting like 3 of the piglins to be Septiceye, Markiplier, and like, could you imagine just those 3 just being 3 of the moblins? They're just arguing. One's got a little green mohawk, the other one's got a little red mohawk, the other one's got a little white mohawk, and they're all just arguing. Those are the only YouTubers I really know in video games. I don't really like watching people play video games unless it's one of those 3, because they were pretty freaking funny. Actually, I never got into PewDiePie. So, but yeah, I think it's crazy that YouTube, Minecraft, all these things, streaming has become so big. Do I think that we're facing repercussions from it now and it's affecting a lot of things? Yes. And speaking of that, when it comes to live action adaptation, did you just move that chair?
Yeah.
Okay, it freaked me out for a second. That was so smooth. I was like, oh, jeez. I jumped a little. I was like,
my foot itched, and I needed to.
You're like, come here, chair, and
I needed to get the corner so I could scratch my foot.
Oh my gosh. Actually, no. Before I ask questions about live action and moving on to that, I do want to talk about live action for a little bit, because this was actually a good example of live action. But but it wasn't a remake. Yeah, it wasn't.
That's the big thing. I don't mind a live action adaptation.
I guess we're going into it.
I don't mind the idea of a live action adaptation of something we've got before, specifically video games. The Legend of Zelda is a good example.
That was the big question.
It's one that I'm skeptical, right? Again, my skepticals are on, but I'm not super worried because Nintendo is directly involved. Right. They are
trust Nintendo. I don't know, but they seem to do so good with like their parks. And all in all, I generally have fun with Nintendo games.
Right. Well, and they did a good job with Detective Pikachu.
And they did a good job with, I know it was Illumination, but I know that Nintendo is on the...
And Mario. The Mario movie.
But this is, why live action? Why?
I don't know.
It is one of the biggest icons of Japanese, dare I say literature? I don't know. Like
media.
Pop culture.
Yeah.
Like Link is probably one of the most popular guys ever, in my opinion. Like if you show a picture of Link and people say Zelda, it's fine, whatever, we'll get it.
They recognize the franchise.
Yeah. And why I don't have just skepticals on. I have a fort. Just a giant big fort with a giant moat, alligators, and I'm like, no. Stay in the box.
I think it can be done. Especially after seeing this. After seeing the Minecraft movie, like when we first started talking about it, we talked about how elemental animations or Black Plasma Studios would have been fantastic for animating this movie in the Minecraft style.
Yeah.
And you know, I would love to see a movie where that's done. But I enjoyed the live action of this. It was there were a few parts that were a little rough, but it looked good. It was an enjoyable movie. And
as someone who plays Minecraft, Tim, did it feel like Minecraft?
It felt like Minecraft. It felt like a Jumanjified Minecraft. Like if I got sucked into the game right now, that's probably what I would imagine it to be. And albeit that there were, you know, there were some things that I would change to a couple small, like super minor things.
I want to know.
Specifically, again, spoilers. If you haven't seen the movie, go freaking watch the movie.
Or if you don't want to, that's fine.
Okay. Welcome back if you're back. Thanks.
Cool. Thanks for going to see the movie. You got some popcorn.
But when Garrett, Jason Momoa's character, dies, right? It's instant, and then we just keep moving, and there's no, there's no classic grieving period for the characters longer than 30 seconds. You knew he was going to come back.
He was too happy of a character. As Jason Momoa, he's bringing all the money, half of the money.
Yeah,
Jack Black brought the other.
But like, I don't know. I would have liked to see. It was a short movie. It was like an hour and a half.
Yeah, it was.
I would have liked to see another 15 minutes between Garrett's death and the piglins lighting the beacon.
Would you want us to know, like maybe the audience follows him? Because I would have liked to see him do the water trick, because he says that he did the water trick to survive.
I think a flashback for that would have been fine.
Okay.
I would have liked to see them, make a grave for him and kind of grieve for him for a minute.
It's like
the buckets.
It's a Minecraft, yeah, but it's a Minecraft like these and it's a grave, and then it just says his pit vipers as the symbol on the grave. Mm-hmm. That would have been funny.
But like something like that, and then a little bit more filler from that point onto Malgosha actually putting the pillar or putting the beacon up. It was so fast. It was too fast. And like it made sense.
Yeah.
But I feel like even just 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Where they could have slowed a few things down. They could have explained a couple things.
Well, he like, it just brought a lot of questions. Like how do you know how to poke it in the stomach to breathe fire? You don't want to know, or like all these things. It's like
I thought that was fun.
I kind of want to know. Like I kind of want to know like how he survived it, because he still was. Did he have to humble himself? Did he really have to like grow up? And it would have been I'm on the boat of him. Of we follow him for a good like 15 minutes up the ravine and have to learn to admit to himself that, okay, Steve is pretty cool and he's right, and I need to try to think more like him and not like, I don't know. That's me.
We kind of got that toward the end of the movie when he showed up again.
Yeah.
So I'm not. Yeah, I this is one of the few times, but I disagree.
It happens.
It happens.
We've got to pause now so I can throw. I'm just kidding.
I'm sorry. I gotta cover my eyes. No, I think Garrett's part was fine. I think we needed a little more
grieving and maybe a flashback. Could we agree a flashback?
Sure.
Just of and
also just a little bit more fluff.
I would have liked to have seen. I don't remember the woman who was good with the animals and the sister. I wish I would have seen more of them. They felt like an afterthought.
Yeah. What's her name?
I'm just,
Bethany Brooks. Is that her name? Dawn.
Yeah.
Hold on. Danielle Brooks. Sorry, Danielle Brooks and Emma Myers. Yeah, I would have liked to see their characters a little more often.
Yeah, especially because like I'm guessing she's barely like 18 plus. Like I was guessing no younger than 23. Like that would like the max I'd put her at is 23, and she's trying to raise her little brother.
I think in real life, I think she's 22 or
Yeah.
23.
Yeah, so she's just this young adult trying to raise her brother who's it was a Hess movie. He does a lot of silly stuff, but I would have wanted like a little more. No, I don't know. It just I would want a little more.
Yeah.
I want a little more, especially about like their mom and
another 5 to 10 minutes with the girls, and then 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, especially because they like
Garrett's death.
They built a hut. Battle. She trained all these wolves. Like there was a lot that they could have done, and it felt like it's like, oh, we're just gonna. I don't want to say this to get in trouble, but it really just felt like they grabbed her to be like, we just need someone of color in the show, at least just a little bit. Jason Momoa was not enough. Like that's what it felt like to me. I was like, okay, and that's the and we won't go deep dive into that, but that's just how it felt. Like we're gonna grab you, and your character's just gonna be there to check off a box, and it just kind of. She was a good character. I think she was great. I
would have liked to see a little bit more of their adventure,
because she's so sweet, because she was like, oh, I'm working all these side jobs, I'll help you guys out. And I love when it's like I had no one else to call. It's like, that's okay, I totally understand, small town. And like it was just cute. And I can't remember her character's name. Dawn, thank you. I thought Dawn to me was just, every time she was on screen, I was like, she was the reality. She was me who doesn't know Minecraft very well. And I was like, I love Dawn because I can relate to her. And I wish they would have had more with them to just kind of like, I don't know, just a kind of a gripe of mine. Another gripe was because there's only one character I really care about in Minecraft, just because I think the concept of them is very interesting. The Enderman. I really wanted more, and I loved his fight with the Enderman. I was like genuinely like, yeah, that was really
it's
good.
Exactly what I expected it to be.
I really wished it would have been like in a more terrifying setting, and I wish that we have had more serious moments of showing his doubt, because the Enderman was showing all the other characters kind of insulting him, telling him he's not worth it. I wish we could have shown that he really did think like that, because we didn't really. I wish we would have had more downer moments, not just stagnant and super silly. Because we had so much stagnant and really silly that when we had the downs, you couldn't feel them. So I just wish we would have had a little bit more, so that the Enderman fight. And I don't know how many there can be at a time, but I wish there would have been more, because that would have been insane. Just he's taking care of all of them by himself. That would have been terrifying. And I'm like, push the limit to where a PG movie could go, like Coraline. Because remember, everybody, Coraline is a PG movie. I still have trouble watching that movie late at night sometimes. I'm like, okay, hold up a second. Because it's scary. So I would have minded it's a suspense, and I wish the Enderman would have been more suspenseful. Yeah,
I follow. I think it would have been a little bit more Enderman would have been good. Yeah. At the same time, with all of its faults and with all of the things that we've just talked about, it was targeted for 12-year-olds.
Yeah.
The target audience was for 12 to 14-year-olds or whatever, that age group.
You're right.
And people who really like Minecraft. And as someone who loves the game, it was a good movie, and I enjoyed it. There were some things that we've talked about that it would be great if they'd fixed, but all in all, it was a good movie.
No, it was good. I think for a discount movie night, as someone who's never seen it, it was a fun time. Mm-hmm. The atmosphere of the theater, that kind of ruined it. But if it would have just been me, you, friends, just chilling on a couch, we just watched that on a random night, I could see myself going, all right, this is fun. So definitely worth the time in the theater. Wish it wasn't so obnoxiously loud in the theaters, and I know I'm gonna drop that.
Mhm.
Sorry, that's not what we're here to talk
If
about.
you missed the PSA, go back to the beginning.
If you missed the PSA, you are PSing me off.
That was clever.
good. Thank you.
That was clever.
Oh man, no, and I will argue though a little bit. Again, Coraline came out when I was in junior high,
Mhm.
and we all were shocked about that movie. And the only reason why I'm bringing that movie up so much is because it really was targeted for a younger audience, but yet it was enough that everyone went, "Oh!" So I think we don't give young people enough credit that like they could handle it, and from what I've seen from and heard from many people is that when you first run into an Enderman, you're kind of going, "I don't know if I can fight this thing," and you're kind of like, "I gotta run." So I just wish we'd had that feeling.
Yeah.
So, but all in all, I to me that was my favorite scene of him fighting the Enderman. I was proud of him. He was brave. I just wish we could have felt his doubts more and him trying to overcome not cowardice but fear, and it would have been cool. I really wish that they would have done a better job with showing more underneath all of our characters. I felt like we just got a surface, and I didn't want just a surface characters. But sometimes surface characters, it felt more like a play. You just see the surface. You don't really have enough time to interact. But with a little more time and a little better writing and use of time, we could have gotten more under the surface of all the characters and seen something more. But again, Minecraft movie, how far can you really go with that? So,
Right.
what have you? Well, with that though, random last thing I want to talk about, again, diving back into live action movies. I don't even know. I guess I really just want to ask. The rumors are Disney might be done after Lilo and Stitch.
I hope so. Honestly, here's my opinion of remakes, live action remakes of the classics. We don't need them. They don't need to exist. We have the originals. If I wanted to watch Lilo and Stitch, I'm going to watch the original Lilo and Stitch. If I wanted to watch Aladdin, I'm going to watch the original Aladdin. If I wanted to watch Beauty and the Beast, I'm going to watch the original Beauty and the Beast. And for heaven's sakes, if I'm going to watch Snow White, I'm going to watch the original. Right? And
that was a lot of marketing and a lot of things with actors and a lot of political stances and
if you're going to remake a movie, remake it true.
Well, think about Maleficent though.
Or completely do something completely different.
And Cinderella
that changes the way that you see the world. Don't change the story inherently, right? Like they did with the most recent with Snow White. Right, they didn't stick to the way that the Snow White story really went at all. They changed it from Snow White's perspective.
I think doing movies that it will help the love of the movies grow is fine. Does Lion King need more love? No, it doesn't.
The Lion King was fantastic.
Does Lilo and Stitch really need any more love?
No. Stitch is probably one of the most loved Disney characters out there.
But I think it is fitting that if this is Disney's last live action remake in a while, I think it's fitting for it to be Stitch. But
I agree.
I would pay to see if I was promised 3 Atlantis movies and 3 Treasure Planet movies.
I would be okay with that if they did it right.
Because they failed. We didn't get a chance to work with that. Movies that I don't think would do well as Disney remakes are like Oliver and Company. Don't do animals. Animals are hard. Unless you're going to do a Oliver Twist type of situation, do a live action and just make an Oliver Twist. That's fine. I always wanted... After living in Ghana, I always wanted to have a live-action Lion King to be humans, about African tribes. I thought that would be cool because I went and saw the when I took a field trip when Lion King was in theaters, and we saw a small glimpse of the Lion King. Like they came to my school or we visited them. I don't remember, but I always thought, wow, humans as Lion King would be awesome. Like, could you imagine Mufasa's death at the hand of a hunting accident by Scar? He kneels down and he takes the emblem, whatever the emblem of the tribe is, of the leader, off of a carcass. Just a bloodied carcass. That would be nuts. You can go PG-13. I think that'd be fun. And for anyone like, oh, well, that's kind of like Pirates of the Caribbean was PG-13, and it's a ride. And look what it became. Disney can do live action for stuff that's obscure and doesn't already have like a beloved following. Because
I'm sick of seeing live action remakes. If you're gonna go live action, do something brand new,
or do something that it's such a fine line. We could go, this is, and you're probably going to people are going to probably criticize us for this because like, will you like this? Will you like, and it's like, and that's why it's so frustrating, is because they're so hit and miss. It's like throwing a dart on a dartboard right now.
Yeah.
Dumbo. I thought Dumbo was cute. I thought it was really well done, but most people didn't like Dumbo. I'm one of the few people who like,
I loved Dumbo.
Dumbo to me is the cutest Disney baby. Baby Mine is I will be singing that song to my children if I have them. But it didn't need to be a remake.
No, it didn't. And that's the thing. Like, here's, as a writer, as someone who creates stories, right? It's really frustrating to see that the talent of these incredible writers are wasted on remaking a story that already exists.
Soulless. It doesn't have a lot of, well, and I think we're going to do this one next to kind of, because this is kind of where I've been going. I want to do Mufasa next week. Because technically it's a different concept, but I'm a little peeved that he's an orphan. I don't know. We'll see. I think we should watch it. But the reason why, again, people didn't want to go see is because Lion King has all its love. It didn't need this. Disney has been around for over 100 years. Yeah.
We had our 100th anniversary.
It was Wish.
With Wish. And, we've got Snow White. We've got Cinderella. We've got the classics that everybody on this planet should be able to recognize. And we understand those stories. Anybody who grew up with anything Disney related, watching any of the Disney movies, you understand that the originals are timeless.
But they're also takes of classic old tales.
And they are. But they've been done.
Yeah.
It's been done. Now let's move on to something else. That's what I loved about Tangled when it first came out, is it was brand new. It was something new. Of course, it was a Disney princess.
And it was Rapunzel.
And like we've heard the stories of Rapunzel, because it's a fairy tale.
But it was Disneyfied.
But it was a Disneyfied version of Rapunzel, and it was done
Fabulous.
Very well. Tangled is my favorite Disney princess movie. She is my favorite Disney princess.
Mine is Esmeralda. I know she's not a princess. That movie, though, could Hunchback of Notre Dame be done live action?
Yes and no. I don't think it needs to be.
But it doesn't need to be.
Exactly. That's the thing. It can be, right? And people are going to pay for it, which is why Disney is going to keep trying, because Disney wants money. And I understand that. Like, I want money too. But at the same time, it doesn't need to happen. The story is still beloved by all, right? You don't have to try so hard for something that already exists, for something you already have a great love for. If you create something brand new that captures that same feeling, you're going to do something great. And I think that's one of the things we were kind of disappointed with Wish, is it was a brand new story that Disney had put out, that it kind of flopped. It failed. It failed to give us the heart that we wanted to see in a Disney movie.
It was this weird switch and bait, and I think we just had a main issue with that. They had such a beautiful. It just seemed to just twist on its head. Like I fell in love with the king, and then they expected me to hate him so much, and because they did such a good job, and
that's why I created Represalius.
Oh my gosh, Tim! I was still think about that.
Yeah.
Well, think about Encanto.
I liked it. It wasn't it wasn't great.
I like Coco though.
Coco.
I love how we're going
beautiful.
to animated movies.
Yeah,
we're talking about live action. So back to Hunchback.
Here's what I'm saying though. Like the animated movies have been done. They can stay live.
I don't want to see a live action Coco.
No,
I don't want to see.
I don't want to see it. I'm just looking through a list. Like the most, they don't have many recent.
Like Cruella though.
Cruella was very well done.
Did you see it? I haven't seen it.
I saw most of it.
See, that's the sad thing.
I missed about half hour because I had to go pick someone up.
Oh.
But this was more recent, so yeah. Anyway, I missed about 30 minutes somewhere in the middle, but it was a good movie, and it was the same kind of take that we got with Maleficent, where 101 Dalmatians, we saw Cruella de Vil was the absolutely evil bad guy of the story. You knew she was evil.
Atrocious.
She killed dogs. Like, what's worse than that, right? But then you watch Cruella, and it kind of gives a twist on why does she do what she does. And it's the same thing with Maleficent, right? Like we saw,
but also Maleficent became something so different.
It did, and it kind of played the whole, Sleeping Beauty is the way that the king saw the story.
Maleficent,
but Maleficent is the way that Aurora, the princess, who actually, I am Sleeping Beauty. This is what actually happened, kind of thing. Yeah. This is how I saw it.
It's another take. It's a different version of it. It's like with Ever After, Drew Barrymore. That's a Cinderella story. There's so many Cinderella stories. It's like what they say in Romeo and Juliet at the beginning. And everyone's probably seen the trendy sound nowadays. This story you've been told over and over, and we're about to tell it again. And I'm okay with a retelling, but
let's stop with the live action.
Yeah.
Stop remaking the classics as live action. It doesn't need to happen.
I think we can get live action stories. Disney has a lot to work with, and they have things that they could. I wouldn't mind. This might be controversial, but I wouldn't mind a live action or a redone Song of the South, because I think that that story deserves to have something positive. Mm-hmm. That's just me though. Like honestly, it's like if we really want to, like, give this to people and say, here is this, because I would love to hear about Briar Rabbit from Disney Twist. I would love to hear that after living in Africa and hearing about Anansi and then seeing the cultural shift from him go from Anansi to Briar Rabbit. I'm like, I would love to see that sort of thing. I think I love that kind of stuff. And so I think Disney has a lot to work with. They are rumored to want to go back to hand drawing,
which I think they should.
I want a second. No, I don't want any sequels. No. I don't want any sequels for a second. I want
no sequels. I want brand new.
I want something hand drawn, or no, I lied. Bring me Atlantis or Treasure Planet, and you'll have my monies. I don't know. I think the last
I need, before I see any remakes or anything of anything that's already been done, I need to see at least 5 new movies. 5 brand new, never before heard stories.
You want Disney to become king again?
I want Disney to do what they've been doing, what they started doing.
You want Disney to try. Well, I think here's the thing.
I want Disney to go back to its roots, take the classic fairy tales and the classic old stories and the brand new stories that haven't been done yet, and put the Disney twist on them. Give us Aladdin.
Give us Red Riding Hood.
Give us Red Riding Hood. Give us these stories that, give us another Aladdin. Something that takes a very classic style of literature with the Sultan and the genie's wish, right, and twist it.
We have many cultures from all over the world, and many of them come into this country of ours. Why not go and try to find more of those? Why not try to find new? We have so many things. I would not mind seeing anything from. I wouldn't mind seeing a story from new parts of Africa. And I'm not talking like animals or something. I'm talking like I would love to see something animated. I would love to see just more prince and princesses from other parts of the world. Because it's a small world after all. We should see more of it. Yeah. So we'll see.
And that is why pumpkins are orange.
Absolutely. But I like white ones more. It's fine.
Yes.
But I think the point that we're trying to make today is that 1, Minecraft was fun because Minecraft is for everyone. Yeah. 2, let's take a short rest from live action adaptations.
I'm happy to see new movies that are live action. I love Marvel. At least what Marvel used to be. And they're live action. I love those movies, and it has a place. But the animated...
But Disney was not originally made for...
No. Disney needs to go back to its roots, needs to go back to being animated, and maybe hand-drawn if they can afford it, which they can because they're Disney. And
we'll see what happens.
I would love to see a movie that captures the feel of the old Disney.
Give us what Wish was supposed to be, and I will be happy. We'll see what happens. So, before I finish off, you want to say anything to anybody?
Yeah. As always, thanks for watching, and love one another, be kind, and just, try to remember that not everything in this world is bad.
And go watch a good movie and go feel warm and fuzzy inside. And with that, we will see you later, pitches. Bye.
Goodbye.